Hello, Teaserking family. So I just posted the baseball locks, uh, just so people could get them if they just come in for the video, and I don't want to be talking and then they miss them. So again, let's go over the locks. St. Louis under 7.5, Atlanta over 9, the Yankees over 8, and Colorado straight up just to win. And so the theory of our picks is basically we're looking at ERAs. We're looking at the pitcher can shut out the team versus a good hitting team will not hit a good pitcher. So you didn't hit Sandy Koufax. Mickey Mantle did not hit Sandy Koufax. So you're betting the ERAs provided. So if you have Koufax against Joe Smith, you're betting on Koufax. That's a lock. If it's the fifth starter for the Dodgers and the fifth starter for the Yankees, you're betting it over. Mantle's going to hit 2 home runs, and all the Dodgers. Kirk Gibson's going to hit his home runs against the weaker pitching. So very rarely does the hitting beat the pitching. It's usually the pitching. If the pitcher's on, you got Koufax, ain't nobody hitting him. You got Bob Gibson, nobody hitting him. You got Nolan Ryan, very hard to hit. On and on and on. Verlander, we can go into today's game, very hard to hit. Scherzer. So you go with those pitchers. The pitcher you will not touch. I played baseball. Believe me, when you get a top pitcher, you go, fuck, we're not hitting this guy. This ain't happening, and that's what happens. So we're betting ERAs mostly. Then we're looking at a microcosm. So let's say we bet the Dodgers against Arizona, but Arizona beat them 3 straight in LA. Now it's the matchup, right? It's Arizona beats the Dodgers. So now you keep that in mind. Detroit goes on the West Coast in any sport and loses. Football, baseball, they don't. The Tigers haven't won in Oakland in 10 years. I mean, they're literally lost 26, 27 games in a row. You keep that in your mind. It doesn't matter who's pitching. Oakland's going to win the game. So you look at that. But mostly in generic, Tampa Bay plays the Cubs. They don't play that often. Then you look at ERA and pitching. So if you got a pitcher with a 6 against a pitcher with a 5, we're going over. If the team has a big batting average or a weak ERA, we are then betting a game over very easily. So that's what we're looking at. I talked about poker last night. Again, you're looking at what people do. Again, I'm in a hand and the guy bets a lot, and I'm thinking, well, he didn't go all in. He made a $40, $50 bet on me. I think I bet 15 and he made it 50. And I'm going, well, it's going to cost me another 35. And I'm kind of waiting for some sign. And he went to the drink and he took the drink, and the drink's the tell, because you're not nervous. When you're nervous and you're bluffing or you're holding, you just sit there. You don't want me to pick up anything normally. But if you go take a drink, you're relaxed. And when you're got a hand, you're relaxed. I got a full house. How tight should I be? I'd flop 4 kings. I'm not going to be nervous. In fact, you might get up from the table if you flop 4 kings, and you don't care what's going on. You won. And that's where you're at with poker. So you're watching the tells, the type of player. My friend Valerie asked me, how do you play poker? How do you really do it? Mr. Dawkins, St. Louis is at 7 on my book. Is the under still good? Yeah, the under's still good. I mean, 7.5, 7. I'm looking at, there's not going to be a lot of runs in the game. It should be a very low scoring game. So when I do that, it's like football. I'll lock Georgia under, and it's 53, and we're going under 59. It's a lock. It'll never get there. And then it goes down a point. Believe me, when I'm locking Georgia under, I'm thinking the game's in the 30s. I'm not looking at the point. I'm not doing a mathematical analysis like some of these clowns do. I hear this one radio show, and the guy, well, I bet it at 3.5. I took it in 3. I don't know a player on the team. How the fuck can you bet if you don't know any of the players? It just blows my mind. So we're betting, Georgia under is like, I'm figuring 38 and it's 52. So I'm not worried about the half points, or in this case, the half. Either the game's going to be 2-0, or like look at the Yankees yesterday. That was a lock. Take the Yankees, and it's 3-1, 4-1. Next thing you know, it's 12-1. Well, I didn't care. We had the Yankees. They won. So I don't know. I'm not guessing the scores. I'm guessing that you got two aces on the mound. It's not going to be a lot of scoring. It could be 1 or 2 runs. So yeah, 7.5, 7 to me. I don't think there's a difference. I think if it ends 7, I don't think you lose on an over under. Just as if it was 7.5 and they scored 7, it's a push either way, or you would have won if it's 7 and you under 7.5. But 7, I don't think you lose. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they changed the rules, but I think that if it ends 7, you're okay. Which is, again, I'm thinking there's 3 or 4 runs in the game, so don't worry about it. Anyway, that's with poker. You're learning the player, just like we do with everything, really, with the teams and everything. Yeah, okay, so it's a push. So, yeah, don't worry about it. I doubt there'll be 4 runs in the game, but, get as much as you can. Try to get multiple lines if you can. That way you're not stuck to one. And please don't use like a DraftKings, because their odds are terrible. So not only are you looking for the best line, you're looking for the best odds. So in other words, are you laying, like in football, are you laying 11-10 on a teaser, or are you laying 13-10 on a teaser? You don't want to lay 13-10 on a teaser. So you want to shop around for the best place to get 11-10. And William Hill used to have college, and I haven't been there because of COVID, where there was no juice at all on a college teaser, only on the pro, and the pro was 11-10. Now, I don't know if it's still like that, but I'm sure there's some books that want to take advantage. Like MGM's terrible. They're 13-10 on a teaser. I never bet there. You can't bet with those odds. It's ridiculous. And I'm not worried. The only time is like a 9 down. If I can get 8.5 down to 2.5, then it's more attractive. But normally I'm not really, the way I pick, I'm not worried about half points. I live in Florida, so I don't have many book options, unfortunately. Well, how about online? Or go to one of those poker casinos where the grinder plays, and you can pick up a bookie there or something. Ask around if you play poker. I'm sure there's. I still use my bookie, so I have a bookie, and so it works out better. I really don't like my stuff online. I'll do Bulldog once in a while or one of these, but I don't like my information out there. I don't like they know if they know I have gold or silver or whatever. I don't like that information out there. And yes, today is a gold silver day. I'm going to buy after this. They put gold on sale. It tanked for no reason. So let's switch gears to gold and silver right now. I know people look at the price going down and go, fuck, why is it going down? There's no interest. They don't want us to have interest. It's the typical government, like Lee Harvey Oswald, Scott Kennedy, and there's no way it was the CIA. Everybody knows that it couldn't have been one guy shooting 3 bullets at 3 different angles. All right. We all know that's impossible, but they'll tell us that. And they tell us, oh, gold and silver, look at the price. It's being manipulated down. We all know that. But what's happening is the Asian countries, China, Russia, India, all of the old Soviet are all getting off the dollar and getting into a new currency. It's going to have some gold in it, not a lot, but it's going to have gold and silver and a few other commodities in it to keep the U.S. from fixing it. So right now, COMEX is fixing it, and it's slowly getting off of that. So just think of a football game that's fixed. Well, that's not a real true game. So buy your gold and silver, because the shit's hitting the fan real soon. I guess there's going to be food shortages coming up. These Russian sanctions haven't even started to take place yet. It's going to get bad, and it's going to get ugly, and you need gold and silver. You need real money. So if you can't afford gold at $19.80 an ounce, and I'd say buy Cougar Ranch or Maple Leafs at $19.70 versus the American Eagle at $2,000, you're buying an ounce of gold. You don't care what it is. We're buying it for the gold. We're not buying like like a better condition coin or an older, it's limited coin, and the coin will go up in value. In our case, we're buying gold, we're buying an ounce of gold, we're buying an ounce of silver. So buy, because the US dollar is going to go away and it's losing its value. Um, and I was listening to some guy, and he thinks like me. It's the inflation is the printing of the money, period, which causes prices to go up. But prices to go up is not inflation. There's no such thing. So if Cheerios go from $5 to $10, it's not inflation. It's the dollar dropped in value, and Cheerios taking advantage of it and marking it, going, oh, now we can do a price increase because we can blame inflation, which is what's happening with cereals and breads and all that stuff. So I don't see it that much because I buy a lot of veggies and a lot of meat and a lot of chicken. So my stuff doesn't go up that much. Like even looking at Coke and Pepsi's, like $2.20 now for a 2 liter. That used to be 99 cents or $1.50 or $1.75, and it's all bullshit, right? What kills me is the 20 ouncer that's $2.50. I'm like, dude, seriously, you can buy a 2 liter for $2.20. Why would you buy a 20 ouncer for $2.50? I don't understand people. Go home, take it, put it in your freezer, buy a cooler, whatever you want, but don't buy a 20 ouncer when you can buy a 2 liter. Anyway, so the COMEX is holding it down, which is just paper. It's not gold. If you own an ETF, you don't own anything. You want the physical coins if you want to survive. And unfortunately, we're at the point where our government, for some reason, must be run by China, wants us to collapse. And that's food's going, mortgages are going, housing's going, the stock market's going, everything's crumbling. The only survivor is gold and silver. I don't know why they're doing that, because that's not why they're elected officials, but that's what's happening. So we've got to look forward like we do with sports, right? And then once we look forward, we realize what's going to happen, and then we prepare for it. And then when it happens, we go, gold's $100,000 an ounce. I'm glad I bought 20 ounces of it. Now I can live pretty good, where if I have my money in the bank, not only will there be bank runs, but the value of the money will go down. So you have 50,000 in the bank's now going to be worth 5,000. But if I had 50,000 in gold, it'd be worth 200,000, because they're printing the money, losing value. So it takes more money to buy the gold. So gold has to go up, even though they're keeping it down artificially. You have to understand it's artificially kept down and not market driven. And I've talked about the market again. That's, you put something on, I'm selling this tape. What am I selling it for? What will the market bear? The market's going to say, I'm going to sell it for $2. The market will buy it. I sell it for $5. The market will buy it. I sell it for $20. The market says, no, not going to buy it. Then you find out where the market's at. Well, what's happening is inflation's hitting. Gold should be going up, but its price is being held down, not because of the market, but because of the manipulation. So realize the market's way up here and gold price is way down there. So you're basically buying it on sale. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Just be careful, buy as much as you can, put it in a safe, and then just be ready, get food, whatever. I don't know. This is insane what's happening, but I'm trying to protect you. What else? NFL draft. A lot of Georgia defensive players drafted. I'm still waiting. I'm sure that one Dean, the Butkus Award winner, why he didn't go in the first round. He should have been the first linebacker taken. Are you actually watching the games? I mean, these I don't think any of these NFL GMs watch the game. I don't know what they're doing. I know what they used to do is just go off the All-American list, right? So if somebody does an All-American list, which is not really the All-Americans, it's just, oh, we're going to make this guy went to Alabama, he's an All-American. This guy went to Notre Dame. Yeah, they're not really the best players. And that's how they drafted, because I would go through the All-American list and I'd see there's 30 guys and all 30 got drafted. That's why a lot of teams suck, because they don't know how to spot talent. But this Dean should have been Stingley, I agree, went third, the cornerback from LSU, but Dean should have been the first. Instead of drafting an offensive tackle, that's not going to help you. Offensive line is a unit. One guy won't help you. You can draft Jerry Rice, and all of a sudden you have a great wide receiving core because they got a double team him. That opens the other guys up. It makes your quarterback look good because all I got to do is throw it within 20 yards of Jerry Rice and it's a catch. Line's different. Line is a unit. It's all 5 people. And guess what? If I blitz 6 or I have a Lawrence Taylor, I don't care who you got on your line. It ain't going to do shit. So to draft an offensive lineman in the first round when you got these Georgia defensive players who are once in a generation here, you got to be out of your mind. That's why none of these teams that draft these offensive linemen, what good is it to you? And you don't need it. If you have Tom Brady, do you really need all number 1 offensive linemen, or do you need guys that played at Notre Dame and Ohio State, who you got in the 5th round, who certainly know how to block? You're only holding the ball 2 seconds anyway, and you're getting it out of your hand. I don't even need a line, just enough to get in the way of the defensive players. So you can't, with the 5th, 6th, 7th pick, 10th, 15th pick, draft an offensive lineman, you're out of your mind, because the skill set it's not like he's Jerry Rice versus the rest of the receivers. It's offensive lineman A versus offensive lineman B, and the guy from Notre Dame, the guy from Ohio State are the same. They're both good blockers. If you're starting at Ohio State or you're starting at Notre Dame or you're starting at LSU or Alabama or Georgia, you're a good fucking offensive lineman. You can make my team. You're gonna play fine. So why would you draft them in the first 5 rounds? There's not enough skill set, and I can easily blitz you, and I can send 6. You can only block 5. And how good is your offensive lineman anyway? Based on college players, you don't know. I mean, it's just I don't get it. But anyway, so keep your eye on all these Georgia defensive players. They should all be drafted. Malik Willis, quarterback, is never should be drafted. If he is, that whatever team drafts him wasted a pick. Pickett could be okay if he plays ACC guys for Pittsburgh. Like my favorite quote from Urban Meyer. Well, it's like we're playing Alabama every week. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's the pros. Who did you think you were playing? Just Pickett, he's got to play ACC. They got to schedule Wake Forest, the Steelers, for him to be any good. I think he'll be okay. I don't think he's terrible, but he had a good year last year, but he wasn't good the years before. But him sitting out the bowl shows he is not passionate about it and should not be. He'll never be anything. The kid from Fresno, Hayner, and the kid from Coastal Carolina, McCall, I think are 2 good quarterbacks. I know there's a lot of young ones, but again, that's what you're looking for, a guy who's a winner in college. The kid from Coastal Carolina beat BYU last year or 2 years ago, and Hayner beat UCLA. So those 2 I would take. But, it's just this is a year for defense, and especially Georgia. I wonder if anybody's drafted Cook, the Georgia running back, yet. That guy is a stud. I would be drafting him. He should be the first running back taken. After that, I mean, it's just a lot of defense. All you can really do is draft defense. This is not a strong draft, but that's who you go after. I don't like when they don't go after running backs. No. Linemen you don't go after. You go after running backs because you can only get Ezekiel Elliott or Barry Sanders in the first round with the first few picks. You cannot get them in the second round. And there's a big difference between a Barry Sanders and whoever else. So you've got to grab a good running back when you're available. This Cook's a very good running back. Dalvin Cook's brother, he went to Georgia, not Florida State, but he's a superstar. This guy, I'd be drafting him. A lot of these Georgia guys, even their quarterback, I would take. He looked fine. He won 2 playoff games or 3, no 2. I mean, he looked fine. Beat Michigan, beat Alabama. What else do you want to say? So I think that's it. Let me recap baseball one more time. Locks: St. Louis under, Atlanta over, Yankees over, Colorado. Rest of the games: White Sox over, 49ers, Tampa Bay, Miami under, San Diego, Baltimore under, the Cubbies over, the Mets, and the Dodgers. I like it's still San Diego, it's still Oakland. I mean, this football, they're always going to be the Oakland Raiders. They're always going to be the San Diego Chargers to me. I don't care. They're always going to be the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Washington Redskins. That's who they are. I hate this. Well, we got to change the name. We're going to offend Redskins. Like, I'm sure when they made the name, they asked the Redskins or the Indians, and they said, that's fine. We like that. Florida State. Believe me, the guy loves being on that horse throwing the thing into the fire. It's not offensive. It's very good. All right, go buy some gold and silver today. Prices are low, going up. They're going to go through the roof. It's not like a stock where it goes through the roof tomorrow, but watch your stocks. They're going down. Watch your houses. It's going down. I would not buy a house right now. I would wait about 3-4 months. You'll pay a higher interest rate, but you'll pay lower price for the house. So a $400,000 house you'll buy for $200,000. Instead of paying 2%, you might pay 4%, or instead of 3-5 or something like that. But you'll pay a lot less for it. So why pay $400,000 for a house that's going to be worth $200,000? So be careful of all these bubbles out there. Stocks that have gone up, like an Amazon, get the hell out. They're all going to get tanked. The only reason they're up is because the Fed's buying stocks for some reason, not because of the market. See, anytime you get away from the market, you're in trouble. You got to adjust to it. Gold should be here. It's not. It's going there because that's where the market's up here. Same with silver. And then the housing's here, but the demand's really here. This is what people can afford. This is the price. So in a normal market, the price would drop to the people, but in here, it's being held up. The stock market is being held up. So this is what the bubble is. Demand, supply, it's going to drop because demand says, no, I'm only going to pay $10 for this shirt. If Polo marks this shirt at $500, nobody's going to buy it. But when the Fed's controlling stocks and gold and silver, then the Fed is not being driven by the market, and that's the danger. So you always want the market. I think that's it. I did find, which I promised you, is the 4 ways to finance a war, which we're in the middle of with Russia right now in the Ukraine, and it's going to lead to other countries. So the 4 ways: taxes, bonds, money, and bank credit. So the inflationary ones are the fiat, the US dollar, and the bank credit, so the bank loaning. And debt, inflationary, debt, and interest. So do you run into debt? With taxes, there's no debt. With bonds, yes. With fiat currency, there's no debt and interest, and bank credits, yes. So the problem, what happened in World War II with Britain, they used the fiat money or the bank credit, and it's inflationary, and it ruined their money supply. So this seems to be the thing that's happened in history. You go back to the Romans; they're very successful. Well, what do? They keep doing wars. Wars are expensive, but you keep buying them, and you don't get revenue from them. Sometimes you would, like Hitler would steal the gold, so that was his way of getting revenue in. So you keep an eye on that. That's why. Then they like Britain goes down because they have all these wars. They inflate their money. The common denominator is when you inflate your money, you're screwed, because if you don't have sound money, you can't have a good population and a good country. And we're doing it. So this is what I'm saying. Because we're doing it, the dollar's going out. Why they would do that is beyond me. Obviously, China wants it. They want to be the lead over China, Russia, and they're telling Biden to print and print and print so we can be the lead, and that's exactly what's happening. Mr. Darkins, would you parlay the locks or straight bets? That's your choice. What I tend to do in teasers, which is basically a parlay, when I have, let's say I have 4 locks on a football weekend. Miss Dawkins, I apologize. I think your husband plays bets with me too. Well, if I have the teasers, here's how I play it. So let's say I give you 4 locks in the teasers, right? Like in the bowls, I had 8 locks, right? I would play a 4-team teaser, and I would play the regular 2-teamers. So I would mix it up, but I like when I find a bet, I hammer it. So what I would tell you is I would bet, let's say I'd take the Yankees over and Atlanta over in a parlay, but I might still take the Yankees in Atlanta straight. And again, I'm always thinking teasers when I do football. So I'm always doing a 2-team teaser. It's then I do also a 4-team teaser. So to answer your question, what are you comfortable with and what you can afford? So I would probably take advantage if you can get, maybe a 3 or 4 team parlay cheap and then still bet the game. So I'd still bet the Yankees over and I'd bet Atlanta over. Okay, that is going to be the bet. And then the question is, what are you getting on your odds on a 2, 3, or 14 teaser? You're betting them anyway, so you expect them to win. So then let's take advantage of the odds we're getting and make a smaller bet, getting good odds on the 4 teams that we think will win. So let's say you got $500 to bet. Maybe you bet, $50 a piece on the locks. That's $200, and then maybe you bet $100 14 parlay or 3-team parlay. Maybe you like a game and maybe you don't like St. Louis under, but you like the Yankees in Atlanta. So maybe you do a 2-team parlay, or maybe you like Colorado too. So you do a 3-team parlay for like 50, 75, $100, depending on whatever your units are. So it's all up to you, but yeah, you want to take advantage and you want to get odds, right? So if I play a 2-team teaser at William Hill, I'm betting 110 to win 100. But if I play a 4-team teaser, I'm betting 100 to win 200 or 250. So I want to take advantage of the odds. So I will play a 4-team teaser like that. So that's how I bet teasers. So I would definitely, I would probably do both. I would make sure you want to make sure you got like the Yankees over 8. You want to get that one. If they win, I win. That's first step. And then you can play it. It's going to be hard to hit all 4 locks. I mean, I hope I hit all 4 locks, but reality, I'll probably win 3. Like yesterday, I went 2-1 with the locks. So if you would have done a straight, you would have won 2 and lost 1. You'd be ahead. But if you did a 3-team parlay, you would have lost it. So we bet smaller on the multiple team because it's harder to hit, but we want to be in on the locks. So I hope that helped you. But again, you're here to build bankroll. So you want to build a bankroll and get more, then you can increase your bets. And I know with baseball, it's a little weird with the, like the Dodgers today are minus 350. Well, who the hell can bet that? I'm not going to bet it big, but it's such an obvious Kershaw over some guy I never heard of for Detroit. They'll win. You might as well take advantage of it, but I'm not betting 350 to win 100. I mean, I'll bet smaller than that, but you got to be careful. But I laugh when people say, well, I never play a big favorite, or I only bet underdogs in football or basketball, or it's like, if the game's going to win, you bet it. If the game's not going to win, you don't bet it. I'm unmarried. I'm a quadriplegic, so I try to make some money to help my medical bills. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Thank you for watching. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. Yeah, I would say bet a small parlay. So if it hits, you'll win something, and then just bet the other. But yeah. I'm sorry to hear that you've had an accident or whatever happened to your health. It's very sad. I don't know why I thought you were a gentleman, but I don't know. Anyway, that's what you want to do. So again, you want to build your bankroll. That's the key to betting. Like yesterday, I won a couple $100 and I quit. And people are, why are you leaving? Well, because I want to win. And I'm up and I don't want to get burned. So I leave a winner, and then I'll come back. Maybe I'll play tonight or tomorrow and I'll do the same thing. And if I keep winning a little, and I do the same strategy with my stocks, I'll buy 1,000 shares. It goes up 70 cents. I made $700. I go, thank you very much. I sell before it drops. And then I go back in the next day and do it again. So watch the patterns, and like my gold stock will drop from about 10 to 10:30, and then it starts going, and that's when I buy it about 10:45, and then it goes up, and then it goes across, and then I get out, and then I do it again the next day or two. The only time I get burned is if it just does one of these. It kind of fakes me out and goes back down. Now what do I do? I'm down 50 cents. What do I do? And then usually I'll get out and then wait for it to come back. Because now the commissions I'm paying $4 a commission. So I don't care if I sell it and it's still going down. And then as it starts going up, I get it. So the gold stocks, be careful. When that gold starts running, those stocks are going to run too. The question is, it's in US dollars. So I don't know what they're going to do with, like, all right, so you got 100,000 in Microsoft. US dollar goes out. What's it worth? What's Microsoft worth? What's the company worth? It's all in dollars that are worthless. I don't know. This is what I'm interested in. I assume they'll come out with a different currency. Right now, the Russia, Chinese, and Indians are coming out with a new currency, and it will have some gold in it. They are coming out with it. They got to do it quickly because all the governments are collapsing because they're going to go broke if they're not already. They're all doing the same thing. They're all printing, and this is the problem with Keynesianism. It doesn't work, and you can't print. You can't print the dollar to zero and think it's going to be successful. It doesn't work. You need the market. You need the market to make your economy grow, and you got to have sound money. Why do you think gold and silver are still the kings since the Roman days? Why is gold and silver still the king? That's why. Why are they buying it all? It's the same thing. That's the point of it. So go buy gold and silver. That'll really help you, Ms. Darkins. Take whatever you can, buy gold and silver, because your dollars are going to go down in value, but your gold and silver has to go up, because as the dollar goes down, the assets go up, and eventually COMEX they'll blow up, they'll blow it up, and right now it's like London and the U.S. are keeping it down, and China, because they want to buy, although the U.S. doesn't buy gold and silver. I go to a coin. I can tell you my coin store, they will ship it. Gold's what, $1,900 an ounce? Like, they don't trade today, but if you go to the store, they'll have it. Gold is $1,896 for an ounce right now. If you were buying Cougarans or Maple Leafs, because you don't really care, you just want the ounce of gold, it would be $75 for the premium. So it'd be like $1,960. And my guy he ships it. When I was in Alabama, he'd ship it for $15 FedEx, and it would come in 2 days. He was great. Everything came as it was. He had no problems. He's connected with the mint, so he always seems to have inventory of gold and silver from the U.S. Mint or some way, but he's able to get inventory. It's totally good. You don't have to worry about it being fake gold or fake silver. The key test for gold is you take a magnet. If it sticks, it's fake. If it repels, it's not. Yeah, anytime. The email is on the Teaserking. I'll give it to you now. HROBINS77 at Gmail. Go to teaserking.com. It's there. And okay. And then just really, like, I'm going to the store now. And they all know me there, and I give them all the little tidbits of what's going on in Russia and China. So I keep laughing at them, like, why are you selling it so cheap? So anyway, yeah, they'll ship it to you. And it's about $75 over spot, which I just gave you is $1,896. So let's call it 19. It'll be $1,975 minus $5. It'll be like $1,970. And then $15 to ship from Detroit to Alabama. So if you're in the States, it'll probably be a $15 shipping charge. You get it 2 days FedEx. And you can't use a credit card or a debit card because they don't want to pay the charge. So you have to pay. I was able to pay with PayPal, or you send them a check. So I would advise the PayPal. That's how you pay me anyway, the PayPal. So I would advise doing a PayPal to them, and they will ship it to you, and there's no charge for the PayPal as long as you mark it friends. So as long as they don't have to pay the 3%, you don't have to pay if you send PayPal friends. There's no charge for that, and they don't get the charge. But they got Try to get Cougar in, and then you don't need to buy an ounce. You can buy quarter ounces and half ounces. I'm going to do Yankees over 9. See, that line went up. It was 8 earlier. St. Louis under 7. Okay. And yeah, no, that's good. Yankees, they're going to kill them. They kill them, yes. They're getting their bats going on the Yankees, and they're playing a bad pitcher. And just look for them to score a lot. And St. Louis in that ballpark is that. Oh, you meant 8. Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, 8's even better. So good luck on that. And then just that way, because it's really, you want to go to a coin store that sells gold. There's one in Ann Arbor I go to, and then there's one close to home that I found. And that is much. That's where you go. And then if you need to sell it, they will buy it back. So let's say you spent $2,000 on a Cougaran, and the price stays where it is. You'll get $1,900 for it at the time. I would think they'd have. I'm sure that now Alabama had crap. Alabama was the worst state I've ever seen. They did not have a gold and silver store. They had some guy in a warehouse, and some poor lady came in. He gave her 85% on silver. It was 25. Like, he should have given her 25. He buys it for 20, and I'm ready to kill him. I was ready to pull the lady over, going, "I'll give you 25. I'll give you a spot. You shouldn't have to lose," because she needed the money. Then I go in to try to buy it, and the guy wouldn't sell it to me. No. We only buy. In the store, you only buy. So Alabama, I'm sure there's some in Florida, but when you go, there's no sales tax, and you want to probably use cash or maybe a debit card if they take, but a lot of them won't take it. But it is money, so there's no tax on it. So what you want to do is make sure there's no tax and get it as close to. There's going to be a premium on it. So if spot's $18.96, the premium's, let's say, $75. That's what it is. They're trying to cover up because they know Comex, but they don't know what the price of that. So they're like, well, Comex. And I go to them, why are you using Comex at all? It's not real. So that's why we buy, because we're buying a $10,000 ounce of gold for basically $19.70. That's why I buy it. I understand the market, right? The market's up here. This would sell for $5,000 if they would let it run, but JP Morgan keeps Comex. They keep selling this bullshit. They're selling this to the ETF, and all these people buying the ETF are going to get screwed because they do not own gold, and they think they do, and they got it in their IRAs. You're screwed if that's how you think you own gold. You don't. The only way to own gold is to own the coin, and that's it, or the bar. I mostly buy coins, but again, there's quarter ounces, half ounces, a tenth of an ounce, and an ounce. So if you don't have 2,000, or you want to buy 500 here and there, you can just buy a quarter ounce here and a quarter ounce there. And 20 silver ounces is like $600 now, and silver went down, and they're waiting for us. So I used to be in a hurry thinking prices are going to go up. They really, gold's 19. It's once Comex gets fixed, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a little bit of time, but it will get fixed, then you're going to see the prices just go through the roof. And once people realize they're screwed with they're holding US dollars, once you realize you're holding US dollars, you're getting screwed. The only out is gold or silver. It is not Bitcoin. Bitcoin will go to zero. Gold and silver are the only things that are going to protect you. But 300 million Americans are too stupid to understand that they need gold and silver, and they got money, or they got stocks, or I got a real estate, oh God, I can't own gold. That's the only thing you can own. You cannot get out of US dollars. This is my point. You can't get out of it. There's nowhere to go. You can't go to euros, you can't go to Bitcoin, and you can't go to the stock market. It's all coming down because the government is screwing around and killing us. So this is why I don't understand why it's like people look at gold like it's horror. I mean, dudes, that's the only thing to get into. All right, I am going. Good luck, Ms. Darkins. I hope you feel well and buy your gold, and I hope you win your games. And give me an email anytime. I'll be happy to talk or email. And if you have a good question, I'll just do a video on it. I do that with my friend Oh, I can't think of names right now. I think it's Todd. Anyway, he'll give me a good email, and I'll just say, screw it, I can't answer it in an email. I'm going to answer it on a video. So anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Let's good luck on these games, and I'll talk to you again. All right, bye-bye.